While world spots are secured, the pressure is not off yet. G2 and EG now fighting their way to be regional champions for North America. And boy, oh boy, am I stoked to see the rest of this day play out.
You and me both, man. We found out 4 teams that are beating us in Vegas, but time to find out where they stand and who they'll match up against in Europe. These guys now playing for technically seeding. This game is not an elimination match. Basically, we'll just put whoever loses into the 3rd, 4th place against whoever loses.
Basically, you're trying today to avoid having to play Dignitas at Worlds, essentially.
Don't be
Stay as far away from Dignitas as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to go against them first day 1 of Vegas.
So one of these teams is going to be able to move on into the finals for today to fight for that 1st and 2nd seed, but the loser will end up down fighting for that 3rd and 4th place seed. And we saw these guys actually face off just a week ago. G2 and EG. G2 getting the reverse sweep over EG. You heard it from Chicago. He knows that they have what it takes. They just let off a little bit too much last week and let G2 take over. But G2, a powerhouse of a team, always one of those top North American teams.
Hey man, it seems like they've taken care of that. They let off a little bit against Ghost, and then we're able to pick it back up and take the win. See if they can carry that momentum through as they go against G2, the defending regional champs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Almost allowing that first goal in there for G2. EG is going to be able to keep it out. A chance for them to counter. They lose control of the ball. I'll have to try again from the corner, but by now, G2 is going to be rallied up and ready to go from defense. No one home. Classics puts it wide. G2 can keep it out there. Corrupted, though, not able to get back in time. You see a G2 offense up there, but leaves it be, and it just rolls in.
Kind of surprised how that one went through. Chicago is in the right spot and rolls it around. Rizzo's all the way on the other side of the field. It's a 2 versus 3. They just got to shut that down in the midfield. Rizzo just lets it roll on by. A long one from G2.
Early start there. The first minute of gameplay for G2 eSports as they try to put on another attack. That's going to die out. Evil Geniuses break out of their own end, but without control. We'll have to try to regain it at midfield. Corrupted G puts that towards the net. Stopped by JNaps. Both teams waiting to see what each will do. Finally, it's G2 making the move. A move taking them right down into the orange end. The miss there from the defense of EG. Classics has to take control, but he can't get it out. Rizzo pass to JNaps. JNaps center. Kronovi gets there in time. Was going to back off. As Corrupted didn't go for it. EG is able to keep it out. Turnaround in front of the net. Classics can't center. Chicago too far back. JNaps with a chance to set this one up for a teammate, but he can't get it to the backboard, and Chicago can put it to the side.
Pretty steady pace so far. Nothing too crazy. Just back and forth. Mention it in the midfield. Nobody really challenging. They're just kind of grabbing a feeler of how each other is going to play. For the most part, it looks like G2, most of the composure on their side.
Absolutely. Pass down. Great touch from Corrupted G. Tries to set up Classics, but he can't push that one any further. Corrupted G moved in here. His teammates without boost, and so is he. They'll have to back completely off to their own end, and now a chance for G2 to just wait. They're just sharking around the midfield, waiting for EG to make a move. Although they couldn't transition that into any kind of offense. Corrupted trying to be sneaky. Kronovi gets to it first and pushes that back out the midfield. JNaps. Hard clear. Classics greets it off the corner. G2 not finding scoring chance there. It didn't look like they were trying too hard. They're just saying, hey, if we keep it in your end, you guys can't score on us. In front of his own net, Classics. That could have been a dangerous touch, but no one from G2 is there to punish. Both teams just taking their time getting to the ball.
Yeah, the big difference, though, is G2 doing it on the other team's side. Majority of the pressure met, and on that midfield, just the 1 or 2 times that EG has had a chance on offense, rather than going for those bump plays and demo plays that they talked about, they're just waiting for a pass to develop. Yeah. Nothing too threatening from them. If they bring this aggression in and remove that defender, it might open something up.
I wonder if that's going to hurt them in the next game. Even if they hold on to this lead right now, they're giving a lot of space to EG, and if EG can wake up and bring up the pace. G2 might find themselves at a deficit coming into game 2, but right now still a minute 20 left in the first game of this best of 7. EG center pass. Chicago to Classics, they can't move it out. Rizzo, again, just slight pressure. Nothing too threatening, but they're keeping EG in their own end. Finally, a breakout chance. Chicago tries to get a pass from Classics. He's gonna miss. The final minute remaining. EG is yet to answer that first goal from G2.
Still plenty of options for EG to exploit. Saw it again previously, both two players on offense for G2. Rather than challenging the ball, they're just like, forget it, and just both back off. That is an opportunity for EG to get some boost or do something with it, but they're just really slow to the ball, to be completely honest.
Again, G2 doesn't have to make moves here. They're up a goal with 30 seconds left. They just have to do what they've been doing. Send one person in, make EG do something, and just keep them in their own end. Now Classics, knowing that they haven't had much time on offense, tries to get a shot from midfield. One of the only opportunities they have, but of course it's stopped out. Corrupted G up a little bit too late to that one, but Chicago's gonna receive that backward touch and pass down. Classics couldn't get it past that last defender there, and now G2 with a breakout chance here, probably will let it drop down, and that will be game 1. Going to G2 eSports over Evil Geniuses with only 1 goal scored between the two teams.
Nothing too special. G2 got their first one on the board, and then after that, they just applied a decent amount of pressure. Nothing too crazy, nothing too threatening. But EG, towards the back end of that game, they started making advantage of that space they were given. The midfield completely empty, both getting boost on the rotation back, and then just cross-field passes. Unfortunately, the one caught off guard. He did have a chance for a shot. I'm pretty sure it was Corrupted G that ended up putting it up high for Chicago.
Really high, yeah.
So if he would have put that a little bit lower, a little bit more in front, he could have had a good shot to equalize. But
I think that's what we're seeing. Coming off their last series, EG definitely had a bit more space to breathe. They look composed. They were just playing slow and letting their opponents make mistakes. The issue is now G2 gets to choose the pace. These guys are so good that they're dictating the pace. They started off powerful, started off strong, got their goal, and then backed off, and then said, EG, it's up to you to make a move now. But unfortunately, EG couldn't find the move that they needed on offense. And in fact, they didn't spend too much time on offense. It's not like they were pressured too much on defense. Right. They just couldn't get past that midfield line for more than a few seconds at a time.
Just the benefit of allowing Kronovi and the guys from G2 to kind of dictate that pace, like you mentioned. Just the option to determine when they decide to challenge. So you're telling me that I can put this pressure on, and if I don't like it, I can still have time to back off, completely turn around, grab boost, and then get ready for it on defense? That's a problem. EG's really got to bring up that pace. Good way to do it. You saw Classics on the back end there. Cut rotation at midfield, played it back across, they put a shot on target. So
if anybody knows how to cut rotation and do it well, it's Classics. The pressure from that man is unbearable at times to his opponents.
Well, the other thing for him, did not have a single goal in their first series of the day. I'm sure he would like to break that.
We'll see in game 2 as G2 takes a first one. Corrupted G is going to get credit for this one, throws it to the net, and G2 is going to put it in for him.
That's just a good pass in the midfield from Chicago. He puts it up in front of him instead of behind like Corrupted G did. And then he put it at a good spot to where he's the only one who can reach it up high. Gets a little bit of help from Rizzo, but still the shot in a dangerous spot off that crossbar. It's unfortunate for Rizzo. See if G2 adjusts, or if they're going to keep playing this kind of lazy style of play.
Well, I'm sure they're not anymore, as EG's now up. They can't sit back and watch. It's up to G2 to make the moves, and right now they're trying off the crossbar. No finish from Kronovi. JNaps had run out of boost and couldn't finish it himself. Rizzo last back, puts it side. Can he get net in time? He can. He blocks that shot attempt from Classics in the corner. And now a turnaround for G2. Corrupted G just getting to that one in time. Will stop a scoring opportunity from G2. JNaps off the backboard. Kronovi waiting just to see what happens. A miss there from Corrupted G. Almost gave a chance to G2. They're on the attack now. No one home. Classics couldn't get in the way, and there's the answer, and we're all tied up.
You see JNaps in the middle here waiting for his challenge. He had the ability to go against Corrupted G, but the mindset, he's like, there is no way I'm going to get to that 50-50 first. Plus, I'm the last one back. I can't go for it. He backs off, and then the bump comes out from his teammate and gives him that opportunity for his shot. Well played. Good decision-making from JNaps, player who was in contest for that MVP.
Just over a minute into game 2, and we have a tie game. As G2 tries to get the lead here. They did it early on in game 1 and then just held on to that lead, not allowing EG to make any kind of moves. And now that EG's got that first goal, it seems they've been forced onto offense. They're trying to get a play here. Centered Classics to the far side, Corrupted G off the sideboard. Chicago with the pressure on, puts that one high off the crossbar. Classics can't clean that one up, and Rizzo makes the move out to mid. Good pass over to JNaps. They'll center that one, but the defense from EG already recuperated, can clear that one away.
Great center out in the midfield. Chicago's making some good touches as well. Big reason why they're in this situation, Chicago. He had a shot on target that he was able to go for, but because it was across his body, he just taps it up to himself instead. It's the little things between these guys, Leaf, that really separate them. The pace of this game has definitely stepped up. Tied here still at halftime.
2.5 minutes left. We're, as you said, tied up, and I'm sure G2 getting a little frustrated they don't have the lead right now as they did in the first one. Chicago, a bit of a freestyle, gets it over Rizzo, but JNaps waiting patiently on the ground. We'll stop that one out. An attack from EG shut down. JNaps towards the net. Chicago tries to save it off the crossbar anywhere. JNaps couldn't finish that one off. Just waiting for his teammates to get close. Their chances will die out. EG on the attack. Corrupted G just trying to get in the way. He's doing a good job of making sure it doesn't go past the midfield, but Chicago couldn't help him out. Nice follow-up from him. But there's an attack from G2 in front of the net. Corrupted G has to be careful here. He gets taken out of the way. Rizzo with a shot. Classics can stop that one, but there's another bump on Chicago. He couldn't clear it out to secure some safe defense, and Kronovi's gonna score.
JNaps may have been the golden striker for the team, but look how he sets up this open net. He gets one bump, and then on the way back gets another. G2 getting aggressive on offense.
Well, I wonder if we're gonna see that aggression die out now as it did in the first one and just play that slow game, because they do have the lead 2-1.
I think that's what makes him dangerous, though, the ability to change it up.
Dictate the pace.
When you're talking, okay, we're playing super fast, you have this expectation of like, we have to challenge, we have to be the one to the ball, and you expend all that boost, but then when out of nowhere, it's just the flip of a switch, they slow it down again, and they do this really controlled style offense. It's very difficult to adjust to, because you can't, it keeps changing on you.
Giving them possession at that point, a shot. Wide as G2 tried to extend their lead. Final minute now, it's up to EG to get an answer. That second goal from G2 on offense, but not for long. JNaps can clear it.
Great
front of the net. It doesn't finish off as a goal though. EG, chance, no, Corrupted G couldn't get back in time. Classics got a little antsy on that one. Maybe should have waited knowing his teammate wasn't there, and a third goal for G2.
Just because of that initial setup, JNaps on the wall again. Taking his time, no one challenged him, he plays it in midfield. It doesn't result in a goal, but it does spread the defense thin. Someone has to make that save off that pass. Follows into the midfield, makes it real easy for Rizzo.
Flip reset, maybe should have left that for Chicago, but you gotta flip reset, you gotta use it, right?
I think that's one of the rules of Rocket League.
It is written in the code. Corrupted G, a flick up to Classics, that's a chance. Follow-up is not gonna happen as Kronovi flies across the net. 14 seconds left, down 2 goals. Unless they get one here, they do. Classics is gonna buy EG some time, a chance now with 11 seconds left to bring this to overtime.
Trying to find out what happened there, and it was actually Chicago who had a pass. Thought that defender on G2 had a little bit of a touch on it to play it out, but it ends up going underneath and back across. They bring it back within 10 seconds left, not over yet.
While they're on the attack, see if they can get control of it. Classics is up past Rizzo. He just needs a teammate now to send to the net. Kronovi pushes it to the side there, and it's gonna drop down. Chicago can't get the touch. Faked out by JNaps, and G2 grabbed the second game.
Another game by G2, again controlling the pace of the match. Whether it be fast or slow, they are doing a phenomenal job. Everybody getting involved, the goal for every single player. And normally we'd be like, well, we're at match point, but we're not. Best of 7s today, so we got 2 more at least to go.
My favorite thing right now is that all these guys are using the new tags, Tactical Whiffer, Absolute Madman, instead of like their RLCS
right, you've got this prestigious title that you earn only by doing certain things. They're like, nah, forget it.
That's amazing. G2 though, a little bit of a scare there from EG, as EG grabbed the lead early on and then made G2 fight for it. G2 eventually bounced back, and as you said, it just seems to be their ability to dictate the pace of this game. And as EG, you have to be saying, okay, we have to control this. We have to set up the pace. You guys are going to have to play to our game. And what's the step you take to do that?
I mean,
go to G2 and say, play to us.
Demo and bump
True,
is a good way to change it up. I mean, you saw immediately as soon as that first goal went in, G2's like, all right, fine, we'll play.
Yeah.
And they just immediately play way faster.
Yeah.
Control it and everything's fine. It's just you either have to match that or find a way to change it up. And if you're not going to slow down with dribbles or force somebody to challenge you that way, because a lot of it is kind of like a hit and chase kind of style right now, if you're not going to change it up and control the ball in some way, you're just going to allow G2 to continue what they do. So whether you throw a kink in it by hitting the demo, a bump here or there, something I'm sure Classics is more than happy
that's the thing, is we're weird. Like, usually we see Classics doing that, and he just hasn't been on that point.
Haven't been able to. G2's making it too quick on him.
We'll find out if they can finally make those changes. Usually this would be a do or die right now, but we're in a best of 7. G2 up with 2 points, need 2 more to move themselves on to fight for that title of regional champions.
Back-to-back regional champions.
On the attack early, we find EG. No scoring chances, but at least started on the right foot. Dictate that pace early on. Ooh, a miss there. That tactical whiffer tag coming in true. They can stop out the attack from G2 though. Put them right back down on their own end of the field. Up to G getting this one this time, but blocked out. Chicago has to recover it at midfield. Dunk there from Classics, and they're keeping G2 in their own end for some time here, but no scoring opportunities. That's something they're going to have to start to look for.
They're doing a good job, though. There was a pass that was straight across, the one that Classics denied. It would have been a great give and go as he passed it into the midfield, and then it looks like whoever was in the midfield for that pass.
That's actually going to go in. The crossbar there. Classics trying to get it towards the net himself, turns it into a pass, and Corrupted G with the hard cut is going to send one home.
Good turnaround by Corrupted G as well. He was the one who initially set up that pass as Classics followed suit, but rather than rotating out, Chicago was back a little bit too far. They are starting to play a little bit safer, and you can see it in that third man. Something to pay attention to going forward. But he turns back around, puts an immediate shot on net. Almost an own goal. Kurnovi is going to get credit.
Almost it was. Chicago is also insane. Look at Rizzo and Chicago need to team up.
Why? So they can really lose? Like, what do you mean?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a bad idea.
Team up for whose sake?
Now G2 and EG tied up. Just over a minute in. Whoopsie, says EG. Let's see if they can get it back. Ooh, not the best touch there. Chicago forced to the goal line. You can see in his mind just like, guess I'm going back here. And underneath, both defenders, Kurnovi grabs the lead for G2.
JNaps actually comes across from where the net is rather than rotating in. And I don't know if he was going to go for a bump there or not, but the decision to go on that back wall and make that pass, I just don't think anybody on EG was ready for someone from that area to come back across, because based on what they could see, right in front of them, they're like, all right, there's 2 people in front of us, and that's it.
Ooh, pass in front of the net. Classics didn't have anyone to help him out. You can see them starting to pace up right now. Pass to the front, Chicago can't get there in time. JNaps clears it to the side. A lot of creativity coming out for EG right now. It's just G2 has been ready for everything. Team pinch sends that to mid. Classics catches that one, a flick almost over Rizzo. Somehow he maintains his composure and can get a hold of that one. Rizzo in the air, wide of the net. Chicago has a chance to clear it up. Corrupted G towards the net. What a banger! And Classics gonna secure that one for his team, and they tie it up.
What looked like it was gonna be a great pass play turned into a beautiful counterattack off that back wall across field directly to his teammate. And then downfield to a Classics waiting in the wing. A good response here, roughly at halftime to tie back up.
If you're looking up the definition of counterattack, that play is going to be right there. EG keeps himself in this series. JNAPS Chicago up in there. JNAPS will get another touch after he gets bumped, and a shot comes out from Kronovi. Stopped on the goal line by Classics. Now G2 in their end. All three EG pushing up. Boosted up and ready to go. They want another goal here. Slow play from Classics. Loses control and it goes into the hands of JNAPS. Good touch there from JNAPS to Kronovi, met by Chicago. JNAPS had to recover that one on his way back, otherwise that would have been a shot for EG.
Still words out of my mouth, leave.
Oh, my bad. But two minds become one.
Two cars become one, one goes away sometimes.
No chance here for G2, and they'll end up on their end, just fighting to get past that midfield. Chance? Hard shot from midfield Chicago. Couldn't get it past Kronovi. Almost every touch looking like a pass right now. Almost a chance for EG's Classics. Just gets his shot stopped out. Rizzo moving up the field by himself. Kronovi and JNAPS gonna have to back off again. Look, every time you see EG move up, it's together. Evil geniuses fly together. 1 minute remaining. G2 on the attack. Rizzo, slow play, keeps it low, gets the boost as well. Kronovi in to keep pressure. JNAPS just trying to set something up. Good touch from Kronovi, but it was met by Classics instead of Rizzo.
So it makes him so dangerous, though, that pass across. Yeah. If there's a player waiting for a shot there, there's no way that one's not going in.
That is deadly. Oh, a miss there. Corrupted G. Try to take advantage. It wasn't to be. Try again. Great pinch there at midfield. Buys a little more time for EG on defense while G2 has to set up to move that ball out of their own end, and they seem to be having difficulty with that. Pass over to mid. Corrupted G will back off. Classics couldn't get to it in time. Rizzo to the center. JNAPS trying to make something of it. Chicago, the last defender, just keeps it away. Corrupted G will push that one just to mid. Worst case, it drops. Best case, the teammate takes a shot, and we have overtime.
Third game in a row, we're going to come down to a one different goal margin. These guys playing extremely close. The difference, though, EG bringing a lot of the pressure. Multiple demos coming out in the back end, as you saw. Everybody again in the midfield. Fortunately for Chicago, he's the only one upfield. He's going to have to back off as possession goes back and forth.
Corrupted G gets beat up by JNAPS. 30 seconds in. Now the team with a real good attack, though. Rizzo puts one on. Classics gets the touch he wanted and sends that back to mid. Buys a lot of time. Both his teammates are up at midfield. Push over by Corrupted. Classics trying to center this one. It's on net. Kronovi was under attack from Corrupted G, but somehow he survives.
Slight little break check to get past the attacking offense. Oh, is that one's going to go across the demo? No, he misses the follow from Chicago.
Is going to put that one away. Just hesitation on the G2 side on defense, and they're going to give away a goal, an important goal to EG.
Just feeling the pressure from EG, one after another. But that slight hesitation, there's two players in net, not positioned the right way. So when it rolls across, no one's able to meet it and clear it out easily.
I'm almost wondering if that was a bit of a communication issue on defense there. You did see, I forget who was coming across, but he ended up seeing JNAPS in net and said, okay, maybe he's got it. But then I think JNAPS thought that he had it, and they just both let it go. And when you have an EG that's starting to really, you saw them on offense. The second they move up, they're all there. You know they're going to be there. You can't give them that little bit of breathing room, or this happens. And all three get involved, passing it off the backboard, sideboard, all that jazz, and they pop one away.
Well, credit to Evil Geniuses trying to avoid being at match point. They do exactly that. They talked about it. Chicago said it while being interviewed by Alex. You know, we know we're capable of beating them. We've done it. We've gotten so close before. We just let off the pressure a little bit. And that's what I like to see. Evil Geniuses, again, every single player get involved. It's something we didn't really see in their first series. It was primarily all Chicago. So Classics breaks the streak of not having a goal, and the rest follow suit. So good stuff for them.
Yeah, this is what we needed to see from EG, is them starting to dictate the pace. We talked about it in the game 1 and in game 2, the fact that G2 was just miles ahead when it came to controlling everything that was going on the field there, and EG had to be the ones to take control of it. And they started doing that, whether it was by brute force. I didn't see, again, too many demos.
It was only like 2 or 3, and it was pretty even. Yeah,
which is more than what we used to see in Rocket League, but it's still not as much as we have seen. But they did it by moving everyone up onto offense, and they had the speed, and they kind of suffocated G2 a bit more, to the point that G2's thinking, well, we don't have the space. We actually have to get on this ball all the time because EG is going to be there. And now that's in the back of their mind coming into game number 4.
Yeah, I think a pretty clear example was you saw it after that initial touch. All 3 players in the midfield. Only Chicago went up, but it was the option that they had. If the boost was there, all 3 of them would have been in position. They could have had a 2v3. But they did have to back off due to that boost tonight, as a shot coming across wide open. Kronovi, way to beat him to it.
There's an early start. Under 30 seconds in, and we have G2 stealing away the lead. Just a rocket.
Right on the money. Great pass from JNaps. Only 17 seconds in. G2 here off to an early start.
Not much you can do as EG just shake it off. Early kickoff goal. Just don't let it happen again. Maybe get one of your own. Chicago with a chance. A boost grab. Opts for boost over the ball there. And Classics leaving that one as well is going to force Corrupted G up. Somehow still got a 50 that went in their favor. Oh, finding the far side. JNaps had a defender in the way, but says, I don't care. I will find a hole here. Needle status equals threaded.
Not only does he set up it himself, but the pre-jump. Kind of the benefit when you have a long clear like that is no matter what happens, you know your team is behind you to support you, so you may as well go for it. Pays off, threads that needle as you said, and now they're up by 2. Bump plays coming out, G2 looking strong.
We'll see though, if EG can turn it around. 2 goals in the first minute right now for G2. They're angry about their loss. The last one as they sit 2-1 in the series in this best of 7. Fighting for that first and second seed in this series. Very important to make it to that regional grand final. Classics with a chance. JNaps saw that coming and pushes it away. Off the backboard, a hard clear comes out from Corrupted G, and Classics will just send that with a bit more momentum towards the G2 end. Chicago trying to set up some sort of play in front of the net. That's going to be the chance. A miss there on defense. And we have Corrupted G with a goal for EG.
The first time the ball does not get cleared out. You see G2 and the rest of the squad all low on boost. And EG gets a goal. Pretty simple stuff there. All they had to do was be the one to challenge it. Finally pays off.
Minute and a half in now. Goal score separated by 1. As it has been the story for basically this whole series here. Just off the crossbar, can JNaps save it? Almost an incredible chance there for EG. I'm sure they're wanting that moment back. Shot on net, stopped by Corrupted G. Chicago to push it out. Classics to push it further. Rizzo waiting. We'll clear that one hard. Smart turn from JNaps. He gets pushed out of the way though. EG can't take advantage of it. Let's try again from midfield. Kronovi trying to get the cherry pick up there after that touch from Rizzo. Can't get the power he wanted. EG will be able to stop that out.
A little bit unfortunate there for Rizzo. Trying to play that pass into the midfield, but because of the way it pinches off that wall, that thing goes flying across.
Ooh, a double miss there. Kronovi will have a second chance to save his team from a goal from EG. G2 trying to set up a play, but they're far away from the ball. EG should be able to break this one out. They do. Corrupted by himself. It's past Rizzo. See if Classics is up for that. He is. Chicago, wide of the net. Corrupted G way too far away to do anything with that, and JNaps is going to send it flying over his head. Thankfully, Classics was on his way back.
Thankfully for G2 as well. Double commit on defense. Both JNaps and Kronovi went for it. The one there was to get the initial challenge. Could have been a way to set up a goal for Evil Geniuses. But JNaps was able to clear it out. Now they've been on sustained offense for a couple seconds. See if anything happens. The shot from JNaps getting stopped and cleared all the way downfield.
Good touch there from Kronovi. We'll send it to mid, buy his team some time again. Actually, might buy him a scoring opportunity. He sends that one out to mid. There's JNaps with the shot, but Corrupted G is able to save it. Up high, Chicago. Gets to that one first before Rizzo. Now JNaps and Kronovi working some defense, trying to keep that possession away from EG. EG can't steal it back. Corrupted G wanted it. Finally get it, but a missed touch there. Chicago's gonna have to recover it. Kind of working. Rizzo and JNaps with a Rule 1 in the corner. They'll break that quick. Final minute of gameplay now. We have G2 up. Remember them doing this in the first one? Just play it slow. You don't need to get too fancy right now. You have the lead.
Trying to minimize mistakes at this point as an opportunity opens up and a shot from JNaps. Just waiting for that opportunity, man. Playing clean, no mistakes. A great challenge by Rizzo. And the best part about that shot from JNaps, he knows Chicago's moving across. If he plays that far post, there's no chance Chicago will be able to reach it in time, so he plays it back to where he was coming and gets it in.
Now EG down by 2 goals is looking to find themselves at match point as we head to that final 30 seconds of Game 4. With G2 already up on 2 wins in the series. EG has a long way to go ahead of them if they want to win this series. Move on to that regional grand final. Final 10 seconds. I think it's safe to say G2's got the third in their pocket. Finds themselves at match point. Saying, EG, you're not at our caliber yet. We own this, we control this. We are G2.
Well, now 3-1 in this series. The biggest difference this one, the skull margin finally starting to spread. G2 up by 2 in this one. And again, pretty much all spread out. Unfortunately for Rizzo, no goal for him, which is, I'm sure, okay in his book.
I'm sure he doesn't care, they won.
Yeah, right? It's all that matters, right?
Maybe
no L's, huh?
He'll take his turn in the next game. Unless Evil Geniuses can turn this one around again. We saw them do it in the last game, but again, they just lost something there. They didn't have that same spark that they had in the first one. I'm wondering if it's just, you know, exhaustion at this point or what it is. It just, are they getting in their own heads? Because we know, and they know, that they can do this. They have literally said it. We brought it up 3 times now that they know they can do it. And we saw them bring G2 to a Game 5. But of course, G2 doesn't lose in Game 5, so they lost that in league play. But they have the chance to prove themselves again here. They still have the chance. They're not done yet, but they are at match point, and that's got to start weighing on you even more.
So now the question, they're great in Game 5. We're on a Game 5 now.
Uh-oh.
Does G2 win it here and just close out the series, or, you know, does...
By science?
break it? Because, I mean, it's a best of 7. It's different, right? Like, it's not the same thing. The best part of best of 7s, and all the players say it, is it's a marathon. It really is. You have plenty of time to kind of adjust and really figure out, like, okay, normally I only have, like, a game of leeway to figure out, like, how your play style is happening and how to change to it. Best 7s change that up a little bit. There's multiple times where you may see these play styles change. I think G2's best effort, though, is they've been changing it up since the beginning, changing that pace. Whether they want to play fast or slow.
Well, the time that EG controlled the pace, they won. We'll see if they do that again. Game 5 in this best of 7. G2 eSports, though, sitting at match points with 3-1 wins against EG. Looking to get themselves a spot in those grand finals. Fight for a 1st and 2nd seed going into the World Championships.
A lot of cool things about these teams as well. A player from every World Championship team, the victor, going to be showing up at this LAN. Kronovi, though, the first time he's going to be showing with Cookser since Season 1.
That's going to be such a nice reunion.
Unbelievable, man.
But right now, that's not their focus. Their focus is get the seeds. As G2 had a bit of an attack there. Wasn't anything overly aggressive. They'll try again here with 1 player off the field. With Cornovi, JNAPS, and Rizzo moving up, they should be able to get a play started, but Chicago gets in their face early and kills off any kind of chance.
It was a really good job of mirroring the ball rather than forcing a challenge. That's all JNAPS was trying to do. He was playing slow. He wanted someone on EG to challenge him, to draw out that defender, rather than actually just trying to force it through. It doesn't happen. EG does a good job on defense, holds him off.
Great touch from Corrupted G there. He knew he couldn't get it past that flying defender, sends it down, and they were able to maintain some kind of control at midfield. And that's allowing them to get into the other end there, and I'm pretty sure a Doomsy dish from a G2 player just threw that one in.
Yeah, a little bit weird. Looks like Rizzo's expecting JNAPS to get that out, but then a mistake on defense. The way he rolled there, rather than rolling into it, he rolled sideways, it caught his wheels, and ended up going into the net. So
that is 3 own goals in the series now.
It happens, man.
Almost a self goal there for EG, a real goal, I guess we call it.
It's compared to those fake goals we get from time to time.
Fake goals. 3 minutes left, EG in the lead by the hands of G2.
I don't like think about that sentence for a second. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. Weird scenario, man.
Yeah. A lot of demos coming out in the field, and I feel like they're just kind of being thrown out there. No one really doing anything with them right now. So neither one of these teams seem to be able to kind of create any kind of semblance of formation right now. Just doing their best to get the ball to the other end, to their opponent's end, with a scoring chance as well. It's not seeming to come for anybody here. Second touch from Classics goes to Chicago. Corrupted G will move in with them as well as they move into the G2 territory. Now G2 with possession. Tries to roll it out. Chicago steals that one away. Puts it in front of the net again. EG on a sustained attack right now. A second touch. No, a miss coming out from Corrupted G. Classics put it right back on though. Chicago circling the boost will allow Corrupted G to move in. Now he should be able to follow that one up unless Classics can create a huge disruption. Almost taking out 2 G2 players.
I mean, that's the chance they were looking for. Everybody on G2 under roughly 30 boost. They've denied the clear 3 times in a row. They finally get a shot on net with a bump to boot, and it still doesn't go in. G2 on defense, man. One of the frustrating things in North America is having to go up against that defense.
Now that final minute approaching, and EG still hold the lead, which means they still hold their dreams alive of getting to the grand finals here today. Good upfield pass there, almost a second touch from JNAPS. I see your face right now. That would have been nuts. But alas, it was not to be. And G2 still sits at a goal deficit against EG. They're on attack though, a chance. Cronovi can't center that one out. Classics leaves that for Chicago. Goes for the ball over Boost. Smart man as it buys them a bit more time on defense. Corrupted G will miss. Cronovi to capitalize.
A lot of these touches need to go farther inside for G2. It's been a little bit too easy on EG on defense. Kind of falling, not in a really threatening spot, just a little bit wide of the goal. Makes it easy for someone like Corrupted G to pinch that one back downfield. Haven't really seen any pass plays. Finally getting one out here. Need to do a bit more of that if they're going to try to find the victory.
Yeah, it was not enough by any means, but
wow, what a clear.
As you said, you might be able to see them do another one. 15 seconds left now. Pressure's on EG as they are on their own end. They have to hold off a goal. One final attack from G2, and you know it's going to be an aggressive one. Classics, great 50, buys them all the time in the world. And Cronovi going for the own goal at the end there, puts it on the goal line, and EG is going to take another one, keeping themselves alive, but G2 is still at match point. Right now, this is so big for EG. You know that they want this win over G2 just to prove it to themselves.
Yeah, even though Cronovi couldn't get a goal there or in the series, he did try to help out EG.
Couldn't even score on his own net.
Poor guy.
Your teammates can score on your own net and you can't.
Oof. I think a lot of it does have to do with JNAPS. JNAPS is relatively quiet. He shows in the scoreboard too. Nothing across the board. Did get a couple touches in the midfield, but he's kind of the catalyst on offense, and when he's not making those touches or making those plays, it really shows. I mean, that's credit to Evil Geniuses. They're shutting it down. They're playing a little bit more aggressive. In the pass plays, they are working the field, I think, a little bit better in that last match.
Yeah.
adjustments coming out.
I don't know if you saw it and pay attention to all there, but one shot for G2. One shot is all that they got during that game there. That's not enough to win a game.
No, it's not.
By any means.
Very, very minimal.
So are you worried right now for G2 is my question. I mean, we've seen them fluctuate back and forth dictating the pace right now, but they're definitely playing a slower game than we've seen them play in past series during league play. Like, much slower. Like, they're just taking their time with this one.
Yeah, I mean, for them, like, I like when they play more aggressive because they do get more creative. Things start to kind of open up opportunities when they play this fast-paced style, and they don't really have anything to lose. Like, yes, seeding is a big deal. You want to avoid being in those lower seeds.
Oh, I'd say it's a huge deal right
stuff,
now. Yeah.
But, like, the biggest thing that's on the line is whether or not Kronovi's dad paints his car Rocket League colors. Like,
is that a thing?
Yeah, if they win regional championship, his dad said that he's going to paint it like Rocket League orange and blue.
Oh, man. So, I'd say it's both amazing and obnoxious as another driver being around that car.
I mean, he's already got the blue, I'm pretty sure, on it. Oh, my, what?
Kronovi's like, I want that paint. I want that paint job on my car right now. A beautiful pinch at midfield.
Take a little bit of paint off of Chicago on that one. Smashing it into the hood.
There it is, G2 with the early goal. Still at match point. EG needs 2 more wins in this series, whereas G2 just needs this one. Kronovi making a statement that this series is over with that early goal. See if they can keep it up there. A pinch almost going in the favor of EG this time. A high pop there from Corrupted G gets taken away by JNAP's shot towards the net, but stopped by Chicago. Classics, you have your teammates? Well, you have one of them. As Corrupted G gets taken out of the midfield by Rizzo. Second touch there, almost for Rizzo. He ran out of boost. G2 starting to get a little creative here, just falling a little bit short.
A little bit more intensity, that's what I wanted. There was no real urgency I saw from them. You're starting to see that now, even the small touches. Rizzo a couple times where he's passed it across. In dangerous spots, but having the trust that your teammate's gonna be there first. Something that G2 was notorious for. They were the ones that kind of originally came in with this really fast preemptive pass play that Cloud9, I would say, was the one that perfected first.
Chance for Chicago.
That trust, man.
See if he can get that. That's just teammate he does, but that play died out early. Turnaround for JNAPS. Tries to get the read, doesn't. Kronovi gets a touch at midfield, but it might go to the hands of Corrupted. It does. A pass to Classics, straight onto the nose of Rizzo. No finish from Chicago there. G2 stay alive, but they're throwing all their bodies at it, and if it can turn around, EG might have a scoring chance.
Not only all their bodies, but all their boost. Rizzo had a beautiful pre-jump that he had to get in to make that save. But as soon as he clears that in the midfield, he's just throwing away possession again because he doesn't have any boost to dribble it down or anything to do with it. Where it works and opens up for Evil Geniuses. They've been on offense now for roughly 20 seconds. They put it again into the other side.
Hasn't been a full scoring chance pressure offense, though. They just kind of had the ball in G2's end. Slow play from JNAPS, out of boost, will keep it low. A fake there, and now a chance for Kronovi as he steals that away, but puts it wide. Chicago got the possession anyways. Clears that one hard, a roller towards the net. No one home in Chicago. Ties the game up at the halfway mark.
Watch this pinch, the way that it's approached by Rizzo. Way too far off on his car. He needs to hit the center of mass of that ball, but because it hits the other side on that corner, all that's doing is taking all that pinch pressure and just rocketing it back towards his own net.
Gotta cut down those angles, and it's not what they just did there. G2 finds a goal rolling towards their own end. EG keeps themselves alive in the series. Rizzo sends that to nobody. And any chance G2 would have had there for an attack dies out. Classics trying to set something up in mid here. Kronovi loses the 50 to Chicago, but JNAPS is going to clean it up. Classics on the prowl. Takes out one, but not the second. EG a little confused, it looks like right now. Couldn't push that ball down the field together. Classics up above the net. Kronovi with a save. Kronovi now with a second touch up to JNAPS. He'll be up, but a little bit too late. Corrupted G drops it to Chicago. Great pass to Classics. He's got a chance now. Just Rizzo there pops it. high, but Rizzo ready for that one, stops it at the goal line and sends that one now deep down into the orange end.
Great choice by Classics as well, rather than putting an immediate shot on net. A little bit too much spacing between him and even if he has the power, probably able to be saved as a solo play coming out from Kenobi. Defense holding on from Evil Geniuses.
Final minute of gameplay approaching. G2 starting to put some aggression on. EG's gonna have to be careful. The Classics looking fired up. Keeps finding himself on offense. Chicago backs off on that one. J-Naps, knowing that Chicago could turn on that, gets up there first. Boosted on off the roof. I wonder what Chicago's gonna do. He goes for the center, but it's wide. Classic straight down. And that play dies out. Corrupted G mid, great heads up from Classic. All three getting involved, there's a chance. Corrupted G gets that chance stolen away though from J-Naps.
25 seconds left. G2 on match point, trying to move on in the regional championship and defend their title. As for EG, the rookie and the rest of the squad, trying to show that they are not a pushover.
I think they've made their point by now, but I know a win is what they need and all they'll settle for. We might end up seeing overtime here now as we have one final push from EG. That is going to touch the ground. And G2 eSports at the golden goal to get them into the grand finals of the North American Regional Championships for Season 6. EG still needs another win if they can get a goal here.
First overtime did go in favor of EG, 3-2. See what happens here. It's not that they're necessarily a pushover, I just think that a lot of the story has been like NA has notoriously sent one weaker team than the big three per se. EG, I think, is just trying to dispel that. They are here to play as a play opens up, saved by Corrupted G.
Almost a chance there. 30 seconds in, G2 tried to finish it off. Move themselves on in the bracket. Get stopped out by EG. J-Naps, a center there. Classics with a great read will push it away. Chicago with a quick turnaround. Corrupted G wagging off as he knew Rizzo was going to get a touch there. J-Naps with a miss. Forces Kronovi and Rizzo to move upfield. Great passing play. Kronovi sends it high. Rizzo might have a chance here. Corrupted G tries to block it. It's not going to happen. And G2 eSports is moving on to the grand finals of the North American Regional Championships.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but Rizzo has no boost in the mid. He's completely out of the play, and as he's rotating back, he gets a bump. It completely kills all the pressure EG is putting on. And then the follow-up between Kronovi and Rizzo.